Hi, this time let's talk about a little bit about the cognition thinking. For example, me as a sales associate that works at a store, I'm selling like some products like clothes and shoes and like many things. Um, Cognition thinking is like it's an important um, skill it's an important skill to have, to acquire, and to remember and to be aware that exists of, because it's really important. For example, the connections thinking is where you the cognition thinking is where you understand the decision maker, the person who's making a decisions. So it allowed them to understand the situation. So it's important to understand this cognition thinking, you as a person, and also the connection thinking of the customer. It's really important because you know where it's placed. It's, for example, a person without cognition thinking, I would say, is like a person in a dark room. He's a person in a dark room where there's a lot of furniture, but you don't really see anything. It's so dark, and you're like trying to walk, and you step on everything, and you don't really know what's going on. So cognition thinking is like turning the lights on and like seeing everything. um that's why it's really important. It's like if we have to think of cognition thinking as a thing, I would say is like when you ask yourself the what, the why, and it's also how much does that thing cost, or or the why, or like these W questions like what, why, um, how much cost, and it's like a really important thing to know, because you can address address the customer needs, or you can allow the customer to take time. You can read the customer and like figure out if they need something. Because, for example, putting you an example, if you drive this skill really bad, it can lead to a situation where, let's say, you sell a product, you try to figure it out, the customer needs, and you end up like selling one product instead of like you could have sold sold 100 item of product B instead of one just product of product A. And that's a really important skill to have. So having in mind that cognition thinking is what allows you to understand your decision maker situation. It gives you place in where you are, and also the place where the customer. This is just to put an example, because it could be like understanding where people are and the way they say things, or the way they see the environment. And I think this is a really crucial skill to have and to acquire, and that's one thing that I'm working on. Yeah, and it's really important to have, because uh as I said, it's give you doors, open up it gives you doors that you can really unlock. And yeah, that's really good. And I'll be working on my cognition skill. It's part of critical thinking, I believe so too, because it's this everything that interacts with questions like why, what, why, or how much that costs, or what that thing is here, or what ended up a person being like that, or taking those decisions, or how you can make people take um, even more this better decisions. And yeah, I think that's really good and important to work on. And see you next time.